Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're going to get our show started in just a couple of seconds here. Want to remind everybody, if you could just share this broadcast, we would greatly appreciate it because it would help us get more views and make the show a lot more exciting for live interaction. So please, don't forget to share the broadcast. We also appreciate all of your likes and comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and get ready for Spit the Wits. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this show that was entirely produced and developed by the people sitting in front of you. Jessy Meadows and Frankie Almost. Brought to you in part by Rolling Hills Productions. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Spit the Wits. Jessy, if you would be so kind, would you please tell us what today's show's about?
Happy Friday, everybody. Okay, so there's been like some tense news on the radio, so we decided to, online, but we decided to do some jokes and lighthearted stuff today.
And now, here is your host, Frankie Almost.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Spit the Wits. I am Frankie Almost. As you know, my counterpart and wife, Jessy Meadows. How are you doing today, Jess?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Sorry we were late broadcasting, but we had some other things that we couldn't avoid doing, so we had to take care of those things, and here we are. So I guess, first of all, we got to talk about Noreen's Lounge last night. I showed up at Noreen's Lounge last night, and we didn't have a big enough crowd to start the show, so I ended up just hanging out, and that was cool, because I needed a hangout time and not a work time, so obviously not profitable for the pocket, but I had fun, and so we wanted to thank Jackie for being there for us, and for everybody that did show up and come out and hang out and drink with me. That was really cool, so I had a good time. So it was much needed. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And also, the reason we are kind of out of sorts today is because we have a mansion party that we're doing on Sunday, so that's going to be really exciting. It's a pool party out by a really nice black bottom pool in the backyard of a mansion, so... And I'm looking forward to that because that's not going to seem like work either. So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. How you doing, babe?
Hot. I am hot, but I wore the onesie because I wanted to be comfortable, and I kind of forgot how hot this room gets. So.
Right. Maybe we should open the door. You can do that if you want to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
This is pretty...
I'm sure every male watcher right now wanted me to leave the camera on while she was...
Watch me bend
turning towards the door to bend over, but sorry, that's not how it's going down today. Let's see. So okay. As some of you know, I was born in Seoul, Korea. That is South Korea, which is the Republic of Seoul, Korea, or South Korea. And so her and I had been detached from the world for a while and didn't realize how bad and hostile things were getting with North Korea. And so it's kind of scary. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but we don't want to talk about it too much because that's one of the things that's probably giving some people anxiety. And I know that there's a lot of Americans that have never experienced that kind of situation where there's tensions like that. But this is not good. We have a bunch of troops that are in Seoul, Korea. We have a bunch of civilians that are in Seoul, Korea, and Seoul, Korea is 35 miles from the DMZ. So that's the demilitarized zone for people that don't know. And that is the border of North Korea and South Korea, so it's literally 35 miles away. My mother used to tell me stories, I guess after the war ended and the treaty was signed, that nobody shot back or forth, but throughout history after the war was over, I mean long over, like 70s, 80s, that every once in a while they would pop shots over into the south side at random people, just like warning shots and to scare people and shit like that. So, and I myself actually lived 35 miles from the DMZ in Seoul, and once a month, I believe it was. I'm not positive on the time. It might have been quarterly per year, but we used to do. They used to do tests, like blackout tests, and they would sound air sirens, and we would have to turn all the lights off in the house.
It was so scary.
And we'd have to turn all the lights off in the house and basically practice for if they invaded. So I'm sure a lot of that's going on over there now, especially since tensions are rising. And, you know, my dad was in the military. He fought in the Korean War, and he also served in Vietnam as an entertainer in Vietnam. He didn't see action, but he was still in the military. He ran a bar for the GIs and stuff. So we both come from military families. So we are basically just, our hearts go out to everybody, and we're a little bit worried about this one because this seems pretty scary.
Yeah, my dad was Air Force. He never really talked much about what he did. I didn't. Like, my whole childhood, I don't really know what the heck my dad did. But, yeah, I know he was Air Force.
Right.
That's about all I know. And he was some kind of intelligence.
He was stationed at Nellis at one point, wasn't he?
Yes. That's why I was born in Vegas, actually. Because my dad was stationed at Nellis. He also did work on the slot machines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was born here.
Interesting. So, yeah. So, anyway, we're going to move on past Korea. Not that we don't feel like it's worth talking about, and if somebody did want to talk about it, we will talk about it, but we just didn't want to stay on that topic too much because there are people that are worried about it, and there's some people that are not worried about it. We just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're having some tension, and her and I are worried about it. And yeah, we're not being able to hear you very much, Daniel Marie says.
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
No, Danny Ballard.
Yeah,
sorry.
Danny Ballard.
Yeah, I can hear you better, so that means they can too.
Okay.
Thanks, Danny, for letting us know. And April Butterfield said, "You rock." Thank you. April. We appreciate that, April. And hey, that's funny that you're in here, April, because I just ended up thanking you because for those of you that don't know, just a couple of days ago, I came in here and just sang Raspberry Beret because I'm a huge Prince fan, and everybody likes when I sing that song. There's a couple of other Prince songs that they would rather me do, but I like doing that one because it's upbeat and just lighthearted, which is what I think the world is missing some of nowadays. And so I sang that in homage to Prince, but also just as a way to test some of our audio capabilities because we do eventually want to start having bands in here. So, and we also want to have people play their original material and also provide us with sound files of original material that we can play so we can... mine and her thing with this, and we need to really get this out there and make sure everybody knows exactly what Spit the Wit is for. Jess and I are not making a dime on this show. We do not. Both of us are unemployed right now. We literally do the show because we love our community. We like doing it. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to be back here and be able to sound like you're being heard, and it's kind of like a soapbox to stand on. But for the most part, we go through a lot of stress and strife because we love our community, and we want there to be more sense of community in Vegas, which we feel is missing. There's a lot of people in Vegas, a lot of people going to bars and partying with each other and getting drunk with each other, and that's all fine and dandy and everything, but a nice, regular home atmosphere, which is PG-13, I must say, because we do cuss every once in a while, but we try to keep it down.
I mean, everybody is so about self, and so we just kind of... I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember it was on cable access.
What's that?
Where people could actually it was like Wayne's World. They could have their own space of time on TV, like locally.
Right.
They would have local performers, and we loved cable access because there was always something really weird and different.
Right. And we like weird and different.
Yeah.
Her and I are pretty anti-mainstream. I wouldn't say that we're completely anti-mainstream. We definitely like mainstream stuff. But we like being introduced to new things, and we like seeing things that are different and out of the norm. And I know that there's a lot of people that feel the same way, because I'm friends with a lot of different people. My friends are eclectic. None of them are like, some of them match each other, but then other people are just completely diverse from the other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always enjoyed diversity and originality and things like that. And it upsets me. I understand, like, it's marketable, but when people have to, and I'm guilty of it myself because we were all trying to make it. So, but making music that sounds like other people in order to make it sound like stuff that's quote unquote on the radio, kind of thing. And I'm actually like pretty sick of that. I wish people would write songs just completely non-uniformly, like. Most songs that are marketable are written in 3 parts. There's an A part, a B part, and a C part. And the A part is typically the verse, and the B part is typically the chorus, and the C part is a bridge. And how it typically goes down is there's an intro, and then the A part, which the intro is usually part of the A part, and then it goes to a chorus, then back to the A part, then back to a chorus, and then to the C part, which is the bridge, and then back to the chorus, and then it's over. That's almost how every song is written. Every song is marketable. So we Danny says that he can still hardly hear you.
That's why I kind of leaned in more to see if
it's
that
so
helps.
weird that that might be the case because wow, I can hear her really well in my headphones, and typically what I hear in the headphones should be what we're hearing. So getting back to that, the A part and the B part and the C part, and that's how songs have been written throughout freaking my entire life. So and before, but I honestly like to hear when people just completely make something.
Yeah, because even movies, books, songs, they all follow a formula.
A format and a formula.
It's not actual purely original, like where it's just something that somebody.
Right. Lean into your mic when you're talking.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah. I know you sound quieter than I do, but I don't know if because you guys see how I eat the microphone. I've been like raised on a microphone, so I know when to back off. I know when to lean forward. Plus, my voice is kind of like lower, and it's like it's not as loud when I'm talking. And I could project my voice more when I'm talking, but then it's not natural, and I feel like a douchebag, like I'm trying to, hey,
like
let's talk about stuff today. You know what I mean? And that's when I have to back up, is when I'm talking. So, but this is my normal voice that I would be talking to my wife in. So, let's see, what do we got here? There's something just popped up in your room.
Red just joined in.
Oh, Red just joined in. Okay. So
and, it says that my next door neighbor, Michael Cowan, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Joined. Yeah, he's the one I grew up with. He's known me since I was 2. Literally, next door neighbor that we moved into our house straight from Vegas. We moved from Vegas to Simi Valley.
Okay.
And I've known them longer than I've ever known anybody. Him and his sister, Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally since I was about 2 years old.
Nice. Well, hello to you, sir. Michael, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's called Mikey.
So basically, we wanted to have some lighthearted conversation today. We had somebody that was scheduled to come onto the show today, and we actually backed out on them, and we wanted to apologize to them. I don't want to divulge who it is, but we backed out on them, and we apologize for that. And the reason being is because we weren't in the mindset to interview anybody today, because of the tensions that are going on. And I know, like, I don't want to seem like we're like hypochondriacs. You know what I mean? Like
overly worried about everything, but no, this has been building, and you knew that something was
it's just because
happen,
I'm from there, and I know how close Seoul, Korea is to the demilitarized zone. It's like the distance between here and Prim, basically. So Prim is state line. I know you've never really been through that part. You usually came through the north.
Did I?
Yeah. But yeah, so we so it's got me worried because of those. I guess it was a really creepy situation when I was a little kid to be like 5 and 6 and 7 years old, and we had a big building in our neighborhood. There was one big building in our neighborhood, And we lived in this huge gated community, but there was this one big building where they sold. It was where our grocery store was, or restaurant, blah blah blah. Because this was like, a compound built for military people, basically.
Right.
And so on the top of this big building was a huge air raid siren. And so I literally, like, once every 3 months, I in my mind it seems like it was monthly, but I'm pretty sure it was quarterly. So once every 3 months, we would hear those air raid sirens. We'd have to cut out our lights and do blackouts. And if it didn't matter, like if you were turning off your lights, because they literally shut the power off to everything. They shut the grid.
My mom went through
that,
and I guess it was, Vietnam.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah. Michael said, hey, "That's what's up. Good looking on the shout out. Good to see you. It's good to see you too. I hope everything's going really well for you."
Nice. We're glad that you came in and said hello, Michael.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. The more the merrier. Also wanted to let people, speaking of which, I wanted to let people know that we received a rather large donation from somebody that's anonymous, and it wasn't on our GoFundMe account. We just literally got dropped some money, and we're going to be spending that on advertising, which is going to vastly improve our viewership, because I don't remember the kid's name. It was something Schwartz, and he was a co-founder of Reddit, and he is no longer with us. He passed away. But he made a very valid point a long time ago, and that is that everybody has the capability of having their own TV station now, their own form of broadcasting. Back when we used to have MySpace,
their own page, their own channel.
Yeah, your own page, your own channel, everything about you. And so just as easily, all of us could be as famous as the most famous person on the planet, which I don't know who that is right now, nowadays. But what's stopping us is not that our content sucks or that your content sucks. It's because, quite literally, the powers that be now are people that own websites, and they keep it a point where if you're not paying for advertising, that you get shut down or quieted. And so when we first started the show, we were getting thousands of views, and it was because I'm convinced in my own mind, and I have other people that to corroborate the story, but that Facebook had no idea that we were going to do anything like this.
Right.
And so when it kind of jostled them, and they went, "What the hell's going on over here?" And they choked us. They choked our capabilities of reaching other people, and
they don't just control. It's not just about advertising, though. It's about, do you have something that they're trying to
an agenda
convey to the masses? Do you have a certain look? Do you have a certain way about you?
Are you pushing their agenda?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so we got choked, and we understand. Facebook owns our broadcast, basically. Mm-hmm. Just like they own your pictures and all this crap, so that people don't really realize. All my songs that I play, which is our intro and our outro music, are copywritten, so I'm not worried about those. But they basically they could turn off my show whenever they want, and so we're just happy that they're not doing that. Mm-hmm. And as far as the advertising thing goes, we want to be viewed by more people because we are trying to help our community. We really do care about the community, and we do want a sense of community here in Vegas. And I do want to help other people be heard. And so once we get on a platform that's big enough, I want to be able to say, "Hey, here's my friend so-and-so," or a friend of a friend, or just the random dude down the street, and we're going to put him on the show and show his artwork or his dancing ability or whatever the case may be. And so that's where we're pushing the show into that direction. And I just wanted to let everybody know that we are going to start advertising to make sure that happens. And thanks to some donations that have been coming into us, that is definitely going to be possible in the upcoming weeks here. So,
Red said two things. He said he's the most famous person, so I want to know what his secret is. Mm-hmm. And he says, but people kill each other on Facebook Live, and I'm going to put something out there right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Basically, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, if that. Mm-hmm. I would say more like a quarter of what you see. I don't know that this is even, it's happening. Do you know this person? Do you know anybody who knew the person? Anybody that,
right?
Any of these Facebook, like, suicides and the kid that accidentally shot himself and all this other stuff. Like, does anybody you know them?
Right. And we obviously, if they are legit stories, there are people that don't believe Sandy Hook actually happened and stuff like that. And if they are legitimate stories, of course we apologize. However, we are trying to still make the same point, which is that you can't believe everything that's pushed down your throat by the media, because they're typically a bought source and they're pushing their own agenda. And as you know, people in power do a lot of crazy things
and
in order to...
Yeah, part of the reason I think this is because we have seen that Facebook basically has access to every single live broadcast. If they don't want you to be seen, if there's something they don't want people to see on your show, they will just get rid of it. It will stop. It will end. There won't be a record of it.
Right.
So why would Facebook allow these suicides and these controversial live videos to be leaked out?
And then shared over and over and over again. It's also really weird to me how a friend of mine who also had a broadcast coming out of this studio was sharing something that was on YouTube, which is publicly available, and basically we have a switcher in here so we can show screenshots of what we're seeing and stuff, and he was sharing something to prove a point, which is part of the 70-30 rule. You're allowed to show anything that's out in the world, copyrighted or not, as long as it's in small increments and it's to prove a point. And that's exactly what he was doing, but yet his show was shut off. And it seems odd to me that they would shut that off and not something like a killing. Right. You know what I mean? Now, granted, they can't police us all the time and see when somebody's being killed, because they don't know when somebody's being killed. They're not watching every single broadcast. That would be impossible for somebody to police. So they have to rely on the public in order to say, hey, this is going on this channel. This is going on this person's Facebook. So once the attention's drawn to it, then they would, be able to cut the feed. So in the defense of Facebook, I will say that they can't monitor everything all the time and stop this from happening. It's not up to Facebook to do that. However, whether or not the killings are an actual thing is what you and I question sometimes.
Right. And let me ask you, say I had a gun and I decided to just out of nowhere right now commit suicide. How many people...
I thought you were going to say shoot me.
No. No, if I were to just commit suicide, right?
Uh-huh.
How many people do you really think would see it? I mean, our friends would know. People here in Vegas would know, but it wouldn't go viral. And
I don't know how fast it would go viral.
I don't know either, but I have a feeling it just wouldn't.
Okay.
And also, there's you and your mom, and people would be like, you need to take this video down.
Right.
Now.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be allowed to be shared.
Exactly. Or, they could share it and blur the faces or something to that effect, but that's not the case. I've seen, actual footage of things like...
and I'm like, how are the families okay with this just going around?
I don't understand how it's being shared around either. Anybody that might know that, we would be happy to hear from you.
Yeah, very.
From a legal standpoint, because neither one of us are lawyers, and most of what we spit are just us trying to use logic.
And thinking outside, well, we don't just think outside the box. We like to think there isn't a box.
Right.
The box is actually
There's
imagined.
no such thing as a box. Yeah.
Like a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And I, pretty much use that philosophy with everything. I don't necessarily believe anything. I don't necessarily believe I'm sitting here right now. I mean, it can be disproven somehow, somewhere. I'm sure.
We can get very existential. But
so, but we don't want to go that deep because this is supposed to be mostly a lighthearted conversation. So hey, I got an idea. If anybody has a silly joke, call in and tell us some silly jokes. And I don't mean dirty jokes. I mean silly little. What, you got one?
I was gonna say we were telling each other.
We told each other some jokes, yeah. But they were mostly dirty jokes that I heard when I was young.
Not all of them. There's guy with no arms, no legs jokes.
Yeah, but that's that's offensive to people with with those physical problems, and I don't really want to tell those jokes on Spit the Wit.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody being offended by those.
Well, I'm sure that that would offend some people watching. I definitely don't want to go there. But as far as regular jokes, I don't know, your elephant joke, that's the most silly joke in the entire world.
Oh yeah, there was another one too.
Okay,
what is the difference between a dirty bus station and a lobster with breast implants?
A dirty bus station and a lobster with breast implants.
Yes.
I don't know. What?
One is a crusty bus station, the other one is a busty crustacean.
See.
Oh yeah, I like really weird, like
No, that's funny, and that's the kind of joke that I'm talking about. So if you know a silly joke like that,
silly, random, like why are elephants big, gray, rough, and square?
why?
Because if they were smooth, small, round, and white, they would be aspirins.
Yeah, that's my wife's favorite joke.
It's my favorite joke of all time because it is so random and silly. It is just so
Right.
out there.
You're so adorable. So anyway, did I sound facetious or sarcastic when I said that? Because I didn't mean to.
Brett said face palm.
Face palm, yes. Hey, finally you pulled your palm away from something else, Red. Oh.
We're not going to tell guy with no arms, no legs jokes, but we are going to insult our audience.
Masturbation jokes are always funny. Everybody masturbates, I suppose, except for the guy with no arms. Oh gosh!
But we don't want to be offensive to anyone.
Hey man, if they're going to be set up, I have to knock them down. That's just the way it goes. He has no palms.
He has 2 palms.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he said I have no palms. It's like, you just have fingers on the ends of wrists. You have 2 palms, yes. And so are you saying that you can actually use one while the other one's doing something else? Or are you just letting us know just how much hair you have? On your palms. Get it? Hairy palms. All right. I'll shut up. Okay. It's hard to run a radio show when you're shutting up.
Close it
Okay.
before more comes out.
We had so many issues today that, let me just tell you guys, about other things, not the radio show, but we had a lot. We ran into a lot of issues and problems today. And so we were really frazzled by the time we got here. And so I was like, I don't even know if I want to do the show today. And I was like, no, the show must go on. And then we were both kind of like, but why? We're not getting paid. And there's no, And then we're like, no, let's just do it. Mm-hmm. So if we're not on top of our game today, we apologize. But
keep going. Oh, and Red.
Somebody's calling, I think. No. Did somebody call? Somebody called, huh? That's horrible. Okay, we missed a call. Sorry.
Back. Red said, I'm saying show Bob's. No, you didn't.
Oh, Jess. I love when you try to get hip with hip sayings that aren't hip anymore, that were hip back in the Jerry Springer days.
I'm such a basic bitch, dude. I'm not, I should be saying stuff like that.
No, you didn't, and it's so 1996 that it's so hilarious.
Girl.
You go, girl. Remember when Jerry Springer used to say, you go, girl? There was this one that was so hilarious. Oh, man. So I'm totally dating myself right now, but... And I like the way that I act on dates. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, how do you like yourself? You treat yourself good on a date?
Yeah,
okay.
I do. Candlelight dinners and all.
Good.
But Jerry Springer was doing some show, and he was off camera, dude. But there was this chick talking. She was boasting about something, and then there was this pause. And it was a huge audience because he was in Hawaii. It was outside. And all of a sudden, you just hear him you could hear him wrestle with the freaking microphone to get it to it because he's like, I know what to say here, and he's all, you go, girl. I freaking lost it because he was 56 years old. Oh man, it's so great. You jive, turkey, you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, okay, good night, Mikey. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out.
Right.
You have a great weekend.
It is Friday, huh?
Yep.
It doesn't seem like Friday to me. Does it?
It doesn't, and that's because our week has just been weird.
Yeah.
The weekend doesn't mean the same thing for us. I've always, actually, for most of my adult life, I've worked on the weekends. That's when I worked. So I've never been a big, TGI Friday, because Friday was my Monday.
Same here. Entertainer here. So always Fridays and Saturdays. And almost never Monday through
No, Monday was
Thursday.
good for me.
Monday through Thursday, I was typically pretty good.
Yep.
But, yes, we're still on for tomorrow night. Tell us again, Red, what we're doing so that I can mention it in the room. On the show, for people that are going to watch the rebroadcast. Red invited me out tomorrow night, so I'm going out with another lady tomorrow named Red. It's one of my chicks.
What have I told you about you and Red?
He's tall, and you know how I am about redheads.
Really? How are you with redheads?
I like the fire crotch. It's my favorite. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so Red invited me out to a wrestling thing tomorrow, so I'm gonna go check it out because we have he can explain it better. Maybe I should have had him on the show, but in hindsight, we're doing Freak Show Wrestling tomorrow night on Fremont. The most asinine, ridiculous show ever. So yeah, I'm down to see that. Now, Red, is this something that you have tickets to? And if so, is this something that my wife is invited to, or is it just me? Is it just me and you, or is it me, you, and her? Let me know. And he said, Jess, you always know that you have to share him with me.
Once we got married, that was supposed to stop, right?
It was supposed to stop when we got married. That's true. We're actually going on our anniversary next week. Our wedding anniversary. Ooh, I did kind of want to talk about that, actually. About the date of our wedding and what significance it has and what significance it has to my family.
Oh, yes.
Screw it. I'm just going to tell it because it's the way that I really feel, and that's what the show is kind of about. I know that I talk a little bit like a radio dude when I'm on the show, and I know that it doesn't seem like it's actually real, but the stories that we tell are real. I'm used to being on a microphone in front of a crowd, so I kind of turn on that stupid radio voice. I try to tone it down and sound like myself, but every once in a while I'm like, that's very interesting, or right.
I like it.
And it's something I can't control. It's part of me because I took radio broadcasting in school. But anyway, so her and I got married on the 6th of May. My parents got married on the 6th of May, my mother and my father. And so they got married in 1956, and they were married for 57 years when my dad passed away. And so kind of to pay homage to my mother and my father and kind of keep the legacy going, I decided that it would be cool if my wife and I got married on the same date, May 6th. And it's cool because the time that I had proposed to her a year before, we decided we were going to get married. And I called her up. I was at the bar one night, and it just had this epiphany. I was like, let's get married on my mom and dad's wedding anniversary. And she goes, that's a great idea. And I thought so, too. And it fell on their 60th wedding anniversary. So 60 years later, I finally got married, which was the first time that I ever got married. And it was to her on the day that my parents got married so that we could keep the legacy going. Pretty cool story, right?
Yep.
And so I have 5 sisters, and they all wanted to kill me for doing that because they thought it was dishonoring my father, and they hated the idea because none of them like me. So so it was harsh because her and I were getting ready to get married, and we were in the same house as one of my sisters, and she wouldn't get out of the way.
Oh, yeah, no, it was very rude. And
she was trying to deliberately stop my wife from getting married on her wedding day.
Yeah, there were a few people that were like...
They were trying to stop us from doing it.
Yeah, and I was like, it's none of your damn business.
Right.
Either be happy for us or don't say anything.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly. So... my point that I was trying to make to the family was, if I was, John F. Kennedy Jr. or somebody to that effect, and I was like, hey, I'm going to, pay homage to my parents and get married on the day that they were married, which his dad obviously being, John JFK, that the family would have been like, oh, and the whole world would have been like, oh, that's such a tremendous gesture,
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome. But my sisters feel like because I wasn't as successful as John F. Kennedy Jr., that obviously it's a horrible idea because my father was this epic, well-to-do, basically rich person, and I'm not any of that. And so they felt that it was completely an insult to him. So
well, yeah,
and that's how much people suck. So
because their opinions are clothing you and
right. Exactly.
And paying your bills,
right.
It's like I said the last show that we were on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I don't usually cuss, but this is going to become a thing with me.
Don't cuss. There's no reason for it, dude. You just say F them or whatever it is you're going to say. Just use
fork
F.
you.
Fork you. That's good.
Fork yourself. Okay? I want nothing to do with you. It's like your opinion it doesn't matter.
Right.
At all.
Well,
so don't waste your breath voicing it because it's that stupid.
The problem is that they spent most of their life actually trying to keep me down, and then since they actually helped in helping me fail, and then they're upset with me for failing. I never understood it. It's not like any of them went out of their way to help me and elevate me.
Negative, small-minded negative people are like that. They're never going to be happy. They're always they don't like you.
Right.
So they're going to find something wrong. And I've had that my whole life, and I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Right.
I just don't.
Exactly. One of my sisters did buy me a car. So, and I don't know if I didn't thank her enough or whatever. I wasn't able to pay her back. I made a couple payments to her, but it was, my whole life is feast and famine. So, it was over 10 years ago. But supposedly, from what I hear, within my family, I'm still not forgiven for not paying her back. And I don't know. The thing with me is like the whole teach a man to fish as opposed to helping a man or giving a man a fish.
You feed him for one night.
Right. She literally made it possible for me to be able to freaking get from here to there for the past 10 years and have jobs and be able to do this, that, and the other thing. And so it's not like I wasn't appreciative, and I was actually doing things with the car. It wasn't like I just was like, gee, thanks, and threw it in the trash. I put it to use, and I fed myself for 10 years, and I just didn't have the funds to actually kick her down extra. So, but from what I've heard in my family, that I'm not forgiven for not paying back the 10 grand. So, but what are you gonna do? I still try every day. We're still trying, all the time to be successful in what we do, and this, that, and the other thing. And so I don't know. I don't know pretty much don't know what to say about that, but I just think that it's horrible that something especially that amount of money that long ago. I mean, how many times has 10 grand gone in and out of hands in the past 10 years?
Right.
It's like a month. If you live a normal person's life once a month, that's like 10 months.
Yeah, it's not like you went out and bought drugs with it or...
Right.
Drank with it or gambled.
And it's also not like I stole it or something. It's
right.
like it was literally like given to me, lent to me, whatever. So yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, Red. He said, "Don't waste your breath worrying about them."
Yeah, I agree.
And so Red also said that you're welcome to the show tomorrow. Do you want to go?
Possibly. Let's see how I feel.
Oh, God. That typically means that she's not going, Red. Just to let you know. That is a typical my wife answer for, I don't know. Let me see how I feel. And I don't feel...
Do you want me to go? Because wrestling's really not my thing.
But this is freak show wrestling. Wrestling's not my thing either. You guys know... dude, even Red knows. I'm not a sportsman type person. I don't like sports. I don't dislike sports. I don't hate sports. It's just not my thing. And I'm very disinterested in it. But this is freak show wrestling where it's like the most asinine people are going. It's a show, man. It's like, not everybody likes talk shows, but they watch Spit the Wit. You know what I mean? Because it's a little different. Like, we're not talking about the typical things, and you never know what's going to happen on our show. We end up just bringing random guests on, and one day there's somebody carving ice or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, our show is completely unpredictable, but like that's the thing about this show is like wrestling. As I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people that like wrestling, including Red, are gonna be like, "Shut up!" But everybody knows wrestling's fake. Okay, so and then this is like beyond fake because people are like, he said like the last time he was on here, there's somebody that wrestles as the ghost of Whitney Houston. It's like ridiculousness as a show, like it's as an exhibit. You see what I'm saying? So It's entertainment. It's not like you sit down and root for somebody and make bets on them and go to the sports book and make a bet on the ghost of Whitney Houston to win. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I actually probably will go because it sounds...
It sounds like it's up our alley because it's bizarre as hell.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I think with some persuasion, dude, I can get her to go. So, yeah, so we appreciate that invite. Don't start getting all mushy on the show, man. People already hate us, man. People already hate us, and they don't need to hear you talking baby talk to me. All right.
They love it.
So hey, I wanted to thank everybody that watched me singing Raspberry Beret and who shared it. Yeah, how many days ago was it? 2 days ago? I don't remember when I did it. It was a couple days ago.
Like 2 days ago.
I got a few hundred views, so that was cool. And the coolest thing that happened, let me just tell you guys. There was a girl, I mean, she's still a girl, and her name is Devin Vasquez. And I don't know if some of you think that her name might sound familiar. It's because she has been in several movies. She also was in the very first season of Married with Children. She's been in a bunch of things, and she was also a Playmate back in 84, I think, or 85. And so she dated Prince. Her and Prince had a thing for a while, and she saw my Raspberry Beret, and she clicked like on it. So I wanted to thank Devin, because we're actually friends on Facebook. So thank you, Devin. Prince, I know that Devin and I do not know each other. However, we know each other loosely on Facebook, and I just wanted to let her know that I've idolized him since I was a little kid. So, and when he passed away, it was crushing. And she doesn't know this, but other people know that I've been imitating and singing Prince since the late 80s. So that's why I kind of did it so effortlessly with a dry microphone and no effects. And then which brings me to another point. And again, thank you, Devin. I appreciate your it means a lot to me because you actually dated him. So, I'm speaking of the dry effects. I have an effects processor here. I can't show you right now without messing up my entire shot. But I have an old effects processor here called an SBX 92. And it's made by Yamaha, and basically it's like echo, chorus, and reverb halls and stuff like that, and flangers and whatnot. I'm going to be hooking that up because I'm going to start, and I don't care what happens, on some random day of the week, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start performing songs.
Yeah.
And until they get torn down. I know they're going to get torn down, but I'm just going to ride it out until they catch me. Basically.
Maybe it'll encourage people to get on here and do that.
Exactly. So, yeah. Beret of the Raspberry Hue. That's right. Thank you, sir. Red said legitness, which I'm hoping is a compliment to me and my version of Raspberry Beret. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. For Fitty. Oh, it's worth giving it a try for Fitty.
For free Fitty.
For Tree Fitty. Oh, man. So, what else we got going on, babe? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, just that thing that popped up. It popped up on there, but not on my phone. Conversation starter 25.
Just to let you know, Red, your last comment, the Yas thing that everybody's doing, I freaking am so anti-Yas. I hate it.
Really?
Yes! Yeah, it's just lame to me. So, I'm very anti-Yas.
See, because, and I've been this way my whole life. Slang was usually cringy and stupid to me because it was mainstream, but I would use it for emphasis, just to be funny.
Right. Or if you use freaking 25-year-old slang, it's funny. When Red said you jive turkey, which is more like 30, 40 years old, but you jive turkey and stuff like that. But yeah, it's funny when people like Mark Wahlberg and stuff like that, who is just playing some straight-laced white character, and he'd be saying stuff like word. I freaking loved when white people started saying word. And I always say it all the time because it's so hilarious.
I started saying word when I was 19.
Because back in the day when people used to say word, it was like a street thing, and they would be like word, and they wouldn't even pronounce the D. It would just be like word. But then it became mainstream, and of course white people ruin everything. So just start, and I'll actually say words to people. I'll be like words.
Yeah, I actually, because I graduated from a private Christian school and then went off to Moore Park College, so I wasn't exposed to slang or anything yet.
Yeah.
So I was working at GNC, and one of my coworkers, I said something. It was around Christmas time, and I was like, I got this Christmas present for so and so, and I got this and that, and then we're doing this later. And she just looked at me and she said, "Word." I thought it was epic. I was like, that is the funniest thing.
It seriously is.
Anybody's ever
so
said
funny
to me.
when somebody like 50-something years old says "word." I wish I could get my mom to say "word" because that would just be the coolest thing ever. Red said "word to your maternal unit," which is hilarious.
Your mother.
Your maternal unit. Word to your maternal unit. That's funny. You're a funny character there, Red.
It's funny because I used to call my parents parental units.
Parental units?
Yes.
But that's what the Coneheads called them.
Did they?
Yeah, you stole that.
No, I never seen the Coneheads, actually.
Yeah, I know. You weren't allowed to watch Saturday Night Live when you were little.
Nope.
But that is what the parental units.
I think I heard another friend say it, so I was like,
Right.
oh, that's kind of funny.
Either way, it's stolen my child. You did not make that shit up. I'm just saying. Words. Oh, man. So next Tuesday we're going to thank you for listening. All right, bye. On Tuesday we're just gonna bust open the struggle, which is part of our show, which we're playing music from unknown artists or little known artists that don't care that we're playing their music. So we're gonna play this shit on our show, and you're gonna enjoy it. And if you don't, then I want you to go away.
You're going to take it, you're going to like it.
Right. You're gonna eat it, and you're gonna buy their stuff. And then that's another thing I wanted to make sure people knew. We're not getting percentages from these people's stuff. So it's not like we're putting it out there to try to get a percentage of their sales or something like that. I have over 500 songs of my own. I don't need other people's songs to sell. So, because mine are already failing just fine on their own. But yeah, so we're gonna be playing music, and we've only got, like, as far as right now goes, we've only got like 5 songs to play, and I seriously wanted like 35, 45 minutes. So we still are looking for people. I know we need to record Red, but producing a song for you right now is not going to happen before Tuesday. But we should definitely make you something before, maybe next Tuesday or the Tuesday after, or whatever the case may be. But I don't. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I'm seeing now that you said Terrence. I freaking tagged Terrence in a thing, dude. Like, he was the first person I thought of, and he never replied to me. So I don't know what's going on with that. But Terrence, if you're watching, we want to use some of your songs on the Spit the Witch show. Which, for those of you that are just joining us, because there's people popping in and out of the room the whole time we're here. If you're just joining us and know anybody that is a musician, or you are one yourself, our show typically reaches about, well, I'm going to say like 250, because it used to be 500 to 1,000, but nowadays it's more like 250 people to 1,000 people, because our broadcast stays up on Facebook and people rewatch it and stuff like that. So if you want to reach an audience that is not your typical audience, and let's say you have 5,000 friends on Facebook and you think you're awesome because you have 5,000 friends and you're maxed out and all that shit, well, I want to let you know that that's only 5,000 people, which isn't crap. Her and I have 1 million views on YouTube, and we're broke as shit. So
Yep.
Your 5,000 friends doesn't really mean that much. So might as well try to add to it and just accumulate listenership from other areas that you may not think that it's important. And our show could be one of them, because even though you might think that we're some old-ass crackers or whatever the case may be, why not reach that audience? We have a very diverse... my friends list doesn't show on Facebook because I didn't want to be one of those people that's like, I got 5,000 friends. And I want everybody to know that that's not the case. I don't have 5,000 friends. I have 7,000 friends, because Mark Zuckerberg allowed me 2 extra 1,000 friends because I'm dope as shit.
That's right, honey.
It's so true. No, it's not true. I have 2,000 friends on Facebook. But I didn't, when I was on MySpace, I used to be like, I used to have like 30-something thousand friends on
Yeah, I had a lot on MySpace too. And like now I think I have 150 friends on Facebook, and I like to keep it that way.
I used to like be about that. I used to be like, look how many friends I got and shit like that. Yeah. And I don't do that anymore. I'm just like, it doesn't like, I do want a lot of friends because I want, I need to get out to people and stuff, but I don't display it as a way of being like, you only have 400 friends, so screw you, pal. I've got 2,000. Because 2,000 is pretty typical, actually, for a dude in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we have different friends, man. If you're on my friends list and you see that we only have like 50 shared friends, know that I have 2,000 friends. And know that that's, a lot more than, that you aren't seeing and that aren't seeing you. So come and give me your stuff, whatever it is. We need jugglers in here is what we need.
Yes, definitely need jugglers. It's the main attraction. That's what we are here to promote.
You got like these low ceilings and shit. I mean, they're about 15 feet, but they're still like too low for anybody to do anything crazy. Like, it'd be so funny if somebody's like trying to set up some trapeze in here for Cirque du Soleil shit or something. Red has 2,500, 8 of whom I interact with. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with you there, dude. I have 2,000 friends on Facebook, of which 4 are watching right now.
Right.
And you're one of. And she's one of the others.
And that's why I'm like, I keep it at like 150. I don't think you can add me as a friend on Facebook. You can't follow me.
Right.
And it's, because when I pull up my feed, I don't like seeing a million posts from people I barely know or don't care about. I'm sorry, but I want to see the stuff that the people I care about are posting.
The funny thing is, for those of you that know and those of you that don't, she is my wife, Jessa Hills, but she goes as Jessy Meadows. So she has 2 Facebook accounts, and one of them is Jessy Meadows. And that one actually has 5,000 friends, and we don't broadcast from there, which is puzzling to me why we don't do that. I don't understand why we don't do that. We should try and see how many people
we're going to get a lot of open blogs.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepers on there that are trying to get you naked and whatnot. So, but when she says that, she has only a couple hundred friends, it's not her star account.
No.
Right.
I choose to have only 150.
Right. I know. Because you're an introvert.
I am an introvert, and I care very much. So if I let you in my inner circle, then
I've been in your inner circle, dude.
And that's why you're the only one you and your mom are the only ones in my inner circle.
Word.
And,
What? What? I'm just.
And I love it when I open up to you on the show, and you're so romantic.
I'm calling my mom right now. Oh wait, I can't dial on the phone because you can actually, the tones, they'll actually know our phone number, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's not good.
I can't place a live call.
Let's broadcast on Jessy Meadows' page and then call our house from our phone.
At our address, which is couple slain in in home by Silverado Ranch area. It's like all over the news.
Red said
on Facebook Live. Sorry.
Frankie's mom is in your inner circle. Giggity. It's awesome.
It's
Red.
funny, dude, because I don't know if you were paying attention to yourself, Jess, but and thank you for all the hearts. I think that's Diana doing that. Thank you, Diana Agiloni. We love you, and thank you for all the hearts. What I think is funny is you didn't realize what I had said. I'd said, like, I was being, like, sexual. I was like, oh, I've been in your inner circle. And you're like, and then your mom is.
Uh-huh. I'm just so used to you doing that because I could be saying anything. Right. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I need to, I need to eat something. Oh, I need to eat something. Like, it's just, you do that all the time. So I just
eat something. I got something for you to eat.
Yeah. I just blow over it.
It's funny, though.
It is funny, baby.
It is funny.
I'm just so used to it.
We're going to start doing it on the show more often. Who is it? Oh, I think a delivery man is here. It's the pizza guy. Hold on. Let me see. I'm just kidding. It was your mic stand.
It was my foot.
It was your foot.
Yes.
Okay. Well, do me a favor and don't kick the mics, okay, babe? Okay, I love you. Thanks. So, let's see. Wow, we're getting a lot of hearts, dude. This is like the dopest thing ever.
Thank you for the hearts, guys.
That's like the most hearts I've ever seen anything get ever. I feel like a superstar. I definitely feel very loved. Thank you, Diana. We appreciate it. And then I think Red's given us hearts too, because I saw a picture of a guy show up, in the bubbles. Oh yes, we're getting all kinds of. I saw Katie's face too.
What's with the sad face? Why
I don't
are
know.
we making people sad?
Red's like making me mad and, and crying and shit. That's so awesome. Oh man, I wish you guys were as like freaking bold to like pick up your phone and call the damn show.
Call the show. It's
like
easy.
seriously, man.
Pick
Just
it up
call.
and
It's
dial
so
the
much.
number.
Like I need interaction, man. It's just always me and her and I like live together and we.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that we're joined at the hip. We basically do everything except go to the bathroom together.
Yeah, we are joined at the hip.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm literally with you all the time. So it's.
But
I feel like I'm alone.
but
I'm
that's
just
the
kidding.
thing.
I'm with you so much that I feel like I'm by myself.
I don't know how to
It's
take
Alicia
that.
too. Alicia, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and then Katie said that was Jeremy Flores that was giving us all the hearts and sad faces and all the crazy weirdness. Thank you guys, though.
Oh, no, she said that's like Jeremy. I think she was talking about how you always turn everything sexual.
Oh. Yeah, well, me and Jeremy are of the same slumminess. Him and I are basically born and raised in bars. Only his was Barstow.
Nice.
Get it?
Oh, bars and Barstow. That's
See,
funny, right?
he's not the only comedian, dude. I got this. If he ever needs a stand-in, man, I'm saying, be like, yeah, I'm from Barstow.
Right.
That's my joke. All right, thanks. We failed.
So a mushroom walks into a bar,
Oh yeah.
and the bartender won't serve him.
Uh-huh.
And the mushroom says, "Why won't you serve me? I'm a fun guy."
That's good. Okay, so I got one that's similar to that. Oh, you want to hear my favorite clean joke? Because it's just like, it's a long joke though, so I'm gonna try to shorten it as much as possible. But this is like my favorite clean joke because it's so bizarre. Okay, so around 3:30 in the afternoon, a duck walks into the bar, hops up on the bar stool, and says, "Hey, you got any grapes?" The bartender goes, "No, we don't serve grapes here." And the duck waddles off. Next day, 3:30 in the afternoon, duck comes and hops up on the bar stool. "Hey, you got any grapes?" And the bartender's like, "Dude, you were here yesterday. I told you we don't have grapes. And we don't serve ducks anyway, so get out of here." Duck waddles off and leaves. Third day, duck comes in, jumps up on the bar stool at 3:30 p.m. "Hey, you got any grapes?" And the bartender goes, "Look, if you come back here and ask me for that, I'm going to take a nail and I'm going to drive it through your bill and beat the crap out of you." And the duck takes off. 3:30 the next day, duck jumps up on the bar stool, says, "Hey, got any nails?" And the bartender says, "Nope." And he goes, "Got any grapes?"
That's cute.
Because he just wants to be annoying. So.
Right.
It's so silly. But that's my favorite stupid joke. I had another bar joke. So a zombie walks into a bar. And the bartender goes, "Hey, what's up, man? We got a drink named after you." And he goes, "You have a drink called a Paul?" See, because he's not zombie. His name is not zombie.
Right.
His name is Paul before he died and became a zombie.
Yeah.
That's the joke. All right.
Got it, sweetheart.
Okay. Is the duck a metaphor for red? I believe so. And it's funny to me, too, because the duck, in order to be a complete adaptation of Red, has to talk about himself in the third person, like Red does. Oh, man. You guys have made the last, 20 minutes of this show very entertaining with all the hearts. And like I said, we're supposed to be a call-in show.
And nobody calls in. We're like,
no, I'm in a show for Colin, my friend Colin.
oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, a call-in show.
It's like, I'm sorry. I'm
Call
sorry about
us.
your friend Colin.
A
man walks into a bar and says, "Ow."
Yeah,
I get
because
it.
he hits the bar. Boom. A bar.
Okay. Remember, I'm blonde, so it
Okay,
takes me
well,
longer
here's
than
a
everybody
blonde
else.
version of that joke. So, what is it? Two brunettes and a blonde walk into a bar. You'd think the third one would have saw it or something like that. Like, I don't know. My delivery was stupid. I told it wrong. But basically it was saying, like, the stupid blonde didn't see that the other two chicks walked into the bar.
Okay.
Bing, bing, bing. That's the sound a bar makes when it hits your head. It's
Right.
bing. Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. No wonder our viewership is going down.
They're like, wow, this is...
Oh, man. So it's funny, dude, because this is like the third show that we've done where we got a call in the show and we missed the call. and
We tell people to call.
we were
in and we
like
never
begging
answer.
people to call, and then actually somebody called earlier today, and we missed the damn call because we were like looking at each other in the wall and all the dumb shit. And then like a couple of days ago, we had somebody like blew up the phone and called like 3 times. Okay, that's not blowing up, but 3 or 4 times. There, that sounds more like blowing up. And we didn't answer, we didn't see the phone. And then when we finally were like, "Hey, we're paying attention," they weren't watching the show anymore.
Yeah,
They had lost
we're bad
interest.
about
They were
that.
like, "What's this phone number for?" It's funny, dude. You know what'd be hilarious is if the phone number that we gave was like to the IRS or something here. People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna call this show and see what's going on." Internal Revenue Service.
No.
Click, click. Oh man. So yeah, I'm sweating very much in the studio.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
We reached our hour mark, and I'm probably, well, we can go a little bit longer. Especially if somebody called in, I would totally stay here for like 15 more minutes. But instead...
Oh, Red
wait.
said that he can't call in because he's on the bus, and that is a very lame excuse, sir.
That is a lame excuse because you could let us talk to other people on the bus. That'd be so dope.
Yeah, you have a cell phone. You can dial
And then-
anywhere. That's the nice thing about a cell phone is it's not hooked up to a wall, and therefore it's mobile.
I think the thing is, though, Jess, you and I haven't taken the bus in so long, and I'm sorry to everybody that I'm grabbing my boob, but it hurts. I'm not like sitting
My poor baby.
trying to turn you guys on. I have like a muscle pain in my boobie, my man boobie. I think what he's trying to say, Red's trying to say, is that there is etiquette on a bus. You're not allowed to call. You and I haven't been on a bus forever, so I don't think you're allowed to
Last time
call.
I was on a bus, there was no etiquette. Like,
Oh. Well, shit. Yeah, I mean, here in Vegas, they just shoot people on buses, and we should.
yeah.
Ooh, we got a phone call.
Yay.
We have a phone call. Hello?
Hello.
Spit the wits.
Hi. This is Louis Cinder, you know.
Who is this? You sound really hot. What's your name, babe? You sound really hot. What's your name, babe?
Jim Bob.
Jim Bob. That's hot.
That is hot.
Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the public bus in Las Vegas.
Oh, then it's Red. It's not Jim Bob.
Oh.
Dude, I was getting a semi, and you totally ruined it.
And now it's a full-on.
And now it's what?
And now it's a full-on.
Yeah, but it still looks like a semi. Because I'm
well,
hung like
I
a
figured that.
I'm hung like a field mouse.
Will you stop it?
You get me excited on the bus.
Yeah, right. Where are you headed to, sir?
I'm going to see a friend of mine in Hedwig and the Angry Itch down at the House of Blue.
Nice.
That looks
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
I want to see Hedwig
Yeah.
in it.
Okay, cool. Hey, tell me
Starts at 11. I have 2 extra tickets if you guys want to show up.
to this thing. To this thing at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
What time does it start?
Starts at 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. After the show's over, let me hit you back, and then we'll see what's going on. But let me ask you this question though. Tell us a little bit more about what to expect at this this freak show wrestling thing tomorrow.
Expect the absolute unexpected.
Yeah.
Like, there is, like, it's the most ridiculous thing. One is, like, I was looking at the match listings, and it's an I Quitler match instead of I Quit, featuring Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, when I say it's the most ridiculous, amazing show ever,
Yeah.
I mean it's the most ridiculous, amazing show ever.
Maybe we should get some of these people in the Spit the Wit and put them on the show.
I would be down. I can hit people up.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know about that.
They've also got, like, an Easter egg hunt featuring Satan with Jesus as the referee.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
As I said, even for people that don't like wrestling, it would still be worth checking out.
Right. That's exactly how I feel about it, dude. Plus, I don't like when people just like stick to their guns on crap and just won't try anything new. And I'm totally like anti that. I like to try new things. So.
And our good buddy Tyler Seifert might be wrestling there.
Oh, so. Nice. Okay, awesome. Hey, is this like an indoor thing, or is it happening like out? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's indoor. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's literally attached to Backstage Bar and Billiards.
Okay.
Right across from that with Cortez.
Okay. And you say, what time is tomorrow's show?
9 o'clock, the doors open.
Okay.
And it's $20 a ticket.
All right.
And they've got a bar inside the venue, so.
Okay, cool. You need me to come
get drunk and watch Satan search for Easter eggs.
You need me to come pick you up?
No, I'll probably be down there a little early.
Oh, okay.
Hanging out with all of my peoples.
Dope, man. That sounds awesome, bro. Then we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for the invite.
All right, man.
And I'm gonna call you after. I'm gonna call you after the show about this House of Blues thing too. So.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
All right, man.
Goodbye, Red.
Later, Red.
So that was our good friend Red McLean, who's a karaoke host here in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is where we are. That's where Spit the Wit takes place. For those of you that don't know, I'm just basically eating up the rest of our time here. So let me say this before we sign out, and that is, do you have anything that you want to say before I do my spiel? No. Oh, as usual, you got nothing to say.
Hey, I've been a lot, but I've got this thing happening in my hand. You want to know about that?
If it's anything like my boob, then I totally feel you.
It doesn't hurt. It's like a weird, like tingling in my fingers when I turn my.
Yeah, I think I already know that's from, but I'm not going to mention it on the show. So, No, we're going to talk about it later. Oh my God, you and I are going to talk about this. So anyway, we want to thank you guys for joining us. And before I say goodbye, I need to remind you, if you guys are just tuning in, because like I said, people pop in and out of the show. And I hate to be a freaking broken record. Okay, nobody gets that reference anymore, I guess. I hate to be a parrot.
They don't even know what a record is. They're like, what?
A broken what? How does a file get broken? You get it, like record. So if you are a musician or no one or are any kind of entertainer, please have them hit us up by messaging either myself or Jessy Meadows. We're both tagged in this broadcast. Message us, and we will put you on our show in some way, shape, or form, whether it be having you come down and perform or having you send us a file and letting us play it on there, and we'll advertise your song for you. And we don't want any money. This doesn't cost any money. This is absolutely free. Her and I are about community. We are about helping people. We are about entertaining people and bringing knowledge to the forefront. And so we need you guys to help us in order to help you. Yeah. And I don't want to sound like, like, oh, dang, we're so dope that, help me help you. But it is true. We need you to help us in order for us to help you. So we need subscribers. We need listenership. We need all that stuff. And we just got a nice little chunk of donation. So we're going to be buying advertising time. So the show is going to build and get bigger. But we need you and your material and your entertainment value to be displayed on our show. So with that in mind, I'm going to sign off, and I thank you guys for watching. We love you, and we're sorry to our guests, but we'll have you back on next Friday. And we love you guys, and please take care of yourselves and be safe out there all weekend. Thank you.
Yes, and
what?
And
what?
Choose love over hate always.
Word.
Be safe, everybody.
Words.